Hey there, Pisces community. Soul Tigress here with a story for this wonderful community. Now, I'm not sure, and today, I tell you what, I was not going to do this today. I had other plans, I'm not going to lie. But there is a heavy Piscean energy in the atmosphere, in the air, all around. And I have to see what's going on. I already wrote out some stuff, in particular what was being channeled for myself. Now I'm here to see what's going on in the whole frequency itself. So some things that I'm picking up for this frequency is stomach. Something to do with the stomach. And when I was getting into picking out what decks and what to use and stuff like that, how to set up everything, I definitely could start to feel a feeling of nauseous. I don't think it has to do with prenatal stuff. What I get after that is right now, for the Piscean in this story, food is not their friend for some reason. Could it have to do with a lot of anger? Maybe there's this anger that's around some kind of defeat that this Pisces is feeling, maybe have been feeling for a while. This defeat that leads into this feeling of lost. Being lost, or maybe someone has lost this Pisces at one time. Confused. Very confused right now. And this, I don't know who this is for, what it means exactly. And I even was like, what do you mean by this? I heard retire. I don't know if there's something that this Pisces in this story wants to retire from. But I know there's a date and a time that they want to put something down. They want to be done with it. It's over. It's time to just stop with it. That's what I feel. Then the last thing is they're chained to something. And when I say that, I see like a big submarine, Navy, fleet kind of chains. It's a big, heavy chain. And it looks like it just goes on and on and on with no end in sight. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to come out. But I am right here with this frequency, ready to go, ready to see what positive messages we can find in this lesson that has left this Piscean very confused. All right, so let's get started. I have Butterfly Oracle cards. 4 life changes. A very new Oracle deck. And I just opened this yesterday, or this morning to be exact. And it just feels like it's so fitting right now for this frequency. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started. Look at that blue protection. There is protection here. I want to let this Piscean know you can feel protected even though you don't. Call them guides, call them ancestors. They're right here. And then what I have is realizations and epiphanies. So what is the realization that's going to come about? Or the realization that maybe Pisces hasn't been flying to? Is it a realization that might lead them to going in a different direction altogether? That could be scary, especially when we've seen our ideal outcome. when we put so much stock into that ideal outcome. Forgiveness. And I feel like this is out the door right now because it came in reverse. And what I get the feeling is it's just something that's really unforgivable. It's just something that's been grasped onto. And if you know anything about this new moon and Cancerian energy coming up, or actually just came about, it has the power to show us what we're still holding on to. Those emotional ties that have chained us back, that we can let go, but for some reason we choose to still hold on to. Is it because there's a fear of what happens when we finally let go? Sometimes a person can feel like if they let go, then what has happened will be forgotten. And sometimes that can feel like an injustice. But if there's a lesson learned, even if it taught you how to be a better person, it's okay to move forward from. And what I have here is join in at the very top. But it came this way. Join in. And we have moving. Came in reverse. Join in, moving. Decisions. Another one that came in reverse. Healing from past. Another one in reverse. Emotions. There we go. And the only card that was upright is the sentimental feelings. Sentimental feelings that are overlooking all of this. I feel like hindering the flight of this butterfly, of this very beautiful, unique Piscean. There's something in that past, something where a decision was made. And what I'm seeing is to move forward, this Pisces has to stop looking back. Healing from the past, moving, join in, is all looking that way. Even if I flip forgiveness the right way, again, looking that way. And if I think of what direction I'm in, that goes to the east. That's new beginnings right there. New beginnings. The sentimental feelings about whatever this Piscean is harboring on could be what's holding them back. Whatever it is that the realization, and I see somebody running. They're running from it. Once they realize it, they don't realize how much more protected they're going to feel. Even being able to speak about it, you're going to feel more protected because it's not something that you feel like you have to hide away from. There could be, whatever this is, there could be a lot of blaming self for. Maybe this Piscean went through something where they were really just on their own. And it's hard to join others. It's hard. When you go through stuff at a young age and you feel secluded, like you're the only one going through it, your view is very different. Your social interactions are very different than others. And it leaves a person to be really sensitive too. And I'm being told to highlight that sensitivity. But you could have been gifted gifts during this time because you had so much time alone. It's almost like being a monk and going to a Buddhist temple and sitting there and doing the chants and the meditations and all the work to get to where they need to be. We don't always end up in beautiful temples. Sometimes the temple is the harsh environment that we can grow up in. But we can clean out that temple as the older we get, the more understanding we get, especially for ourselves. Being patient with ourselves. Being patient at decisions that either we made or people made for us. If decisions were made for you and you still feel like decisions are being made for you and you are of age, you have wings. It's scary to lead off in a direction where you have to make all the decisions. But how do you think you grow stronger? How do you think you learn how to fly higher? Is you have to learn. It's practice. It's keeping moving forward. And realizing that the more you get better at your communication skills, I'm not lying on this one, the more you're going to feel at ease in social settings or even communicating with people and being heard, but also seeing when a person is just not going to hear you. It's a two-way street when it comes to communication. Don't forget that. Even communicating with ourselves. All right, so let's go and talk about the present. Decisions, healing from the past has to do with a Three of Cups energy. Someone else on your boat. Someone else on your boat. Let's get a clarity card for that. All right. Who is this other? What is the clarity card needed for this other on this boat? This, whoever was on your boat, could have happened more than one time. Having more than what you wanted on your boat. There was hidden judgment about it. And that hidden judgment was almost like a blindsidedness. I would say there was a lot of, I'm hearing deception. However, this other person got on your boat, there was some kind of deception. Somebody wanted to keep this Piscean looking off in another direction. Or could this been Piscean here? And the boat that they were on, they really didn't have a choice who was around. Maybe these others never really acknowledged this Piscean energy. Whatever this is, whoever this other on the boat is, or Piscean not being on the right boat, it has to do with the past, and it has to do with some decision. A decision with going with the crowd. A judgment call that for some reason they didn't see, and what I'm hearing is that they were led towards. Maybe this join in has to do with some trust stuff. Somebody wasn't being truthful. Not only once, not only twice, 3 times. Shoot, it may have felt like 6 times or even more. I'm hearing there's a lot of hidden stuff though. A lot of hidden stuff. Join in. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Join in. You know, there was a study that my mentor told me about, and I've actually seen this work out, where people will follow the crowd because it means that they're going to fit in. They would rather give the wrong answer to fit in with the crowd than give the right answer. I don't know what that plays into this or if it does, but I was told to give that example. Ooh, I have a Temperance here. It's talking about these emotions. That's talking about the past. That's asking Pisces to see their true reflection. Maybe it's the reflection that they want to go in. Maybe it's the reflection that they see themselves in. Whatever it is, they're being asked to look within. Really gaze within. See who this Piscean is. Maybe there's a lot of negative emotions towards themselves. Because I'm noticing that we have the water vessel here that's spilt out. We have one that, you know, is more of what you would call pure energy, positive energy. You have another one that has horns on their head. You have that darker colored wing. So you could say that would be almost the darker energy. For some reason, Pisces in this story doesn't see themselves in the best light. And I'm hearing creativity. Creativity wise. For some reason, they don't feel like they can show up. Can I get a clarity card for that Queen of Wands? Clarity card for the Queen of Wands. Oof. So what this is saying is Pisces definitely goes in the way of their thoughts. Their thoughts are still a very, very young nature, young view. Because remember, Pisces is a polarity of energy. But what I'm feeling like, the view is so young, it leads them to this naiveness, to the contracts when they're up with certain individuals. Not seeing the lessons, in other words, of why certain things happened in life. And it really leaves them out. This has left them out, feeling like they can't trust others. I'm hearing is, what is always the motive behind actions? Pisces can be very suspicious. Very suspicious of certain gestures. Because usually something else is coming about or something else is being asked afterwards. That's very interesting. And then I have the Page of Cups. This has been the view. This has been the view since they were very young. For some reason, that's the view in a lot of different ways. But for some reason, their thoughts are in a different kind of view. I would say this Piscean could almost come at life very playfully. Very playfully, wanting to start something creatively, but then something happens. They get held up in their thoughts, and it goes somewhere else. And it's like they're daydreaming. They stay stuck going off in the opposite direction, but then there's another part of them that is stuck in that daydream. And if you're not a Piscean, you're not going to get that. Pisceans will get that because they're in a whole nother dimension. Their frequency is very unique. What else wants to come out for the present? So judgment has been passed on how things work out. And how things work out could have been passed down. And as I say that passed down, I have movement. Movement from this Chariot to a Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. I would say with this, because the Nine of Wands and upright, we have this, they would be relaxed. Look at this one, daydreaming off in her own time. So here, I would say that this one is not just on their own time daydreaming off, but it's kind of consisting of other parts of their day where they're supposed to be moving. Creating this fog. A really, really big fog. There could be a lot of stuck on the device. A lot of stuck on the device. Not wanting to socialize as much. That's very interesting. So then what's the Chariot? Maybe the Chariot's, because the Chariot's looking straight at the Nine of Wands. The Chariot wants movement. The Chariot is also Cancerian, I feel. So that Chariot could be the pull that this Piscean feels to get in touch with their intuition, because that's also, again, what this Cancerian new moon is asking us to do. And as I mentioned this, ooh. Okay, so the intuition is speaking of how things aren't working. How there's a lot of battles. The battles could be everywhere. Right now for this Piscean, they just feel like they're battling life in general, whether it's at work, at home, traffic, the market, themselves, trying to do something, everything keeps falling to the ground, you're hitting every red light, it's just like people are testing you every which way. And that's feeding. That is feeding into not being able to rest, not finding a moment of peace. Upside down. Upside down in those thoughts. That's how I'm reading this one. Upside down in those thoughts. You may not be tied up. You may be able to float there. But for some reason, you're still upside down. What I'm getting is you feel like a fish out of water. And because they feel like a fish out of water, they can't see how to go. They can't. They feel like whichever way they have gone has been to the same type of energy. Same type. This one is unemotionally available. Unemotionally available. Draining. Very draining. But whatever the situation is, Pisces almost ran to this situation. It was very quick. It was so quick. Maybe it promised something. Maybe it opened the gates up to where Pisces was not going to deal with whatever happened in the past anymore. Maybe it was the freeing experience of getting off of one chain, but unknowingly being put on another. You know who had that happen to them? I talked about this. I think it was the Taurus. Taurus community, for theirs had been going from one cage to another. One confinement to another. Maybe one island to another. That's interesting. What else wants to come out? 8 of Wands. That movement and not knowing how to be yourself in a positive direction. Not knowing where to go or how to even go in the thoughts. Like creating that stability in thoughts. How do I even start loving myself? How do I even start dictating what's right for me or setting my boundaries and keeping them? Is that actually possible? Are those things that I can go towards? I mean, if you've been stuck in a situation, especially since at a very young age where all the decisions were made for you, I can see how you'd go from one cage to another or from one chain to another. Metaphoric cage, y'all. Metaphoric cage. This is all for entertainment purposes. Don't forget that. So let's go ahead and talk about the block. Why is Pisces going from one chain to another? Why does it feel like they've been one chain to another chain? Exchange some chains. Chains. There wasn't a full fulfillment. There wasn't a full fulfillment when they were young. There wasn't reassurance. There wasn't something. Reconfirmation. Let's see. So, there could have been a lot of mind games wherever Pisces was growing up. It was definitely in a place where there wasn't a lot of growth in the relationship. In this example, somebody in this example was always the one racing off, acting immature, could be quick to throw things around the home. Quick to throw things around the home, quick to get up and create confrontation. Quick to get up, throw some stuff around. Not just one thing, it could be many things, a barrage of things. Whether it's thoughts, items, and then just acting really immature about it in the mindset. I feel like not even giving any confirmation of the actions, whatever this example was. It can never become anything more than unfulfilled. Somewhere that was an example. Somewhere a Piscean lived this. I'm going to let you know, wonderful person, in this story, this frequency. I'm going to let you know you're not the only one. And I don't say that to devalue you. I say that to empower you. Because sometimes when we go through things, and if it's really traumatic, and I got a Pisces in here blaming themselves for never, knowing better, when they were never set up with the structures of what boundaries were. Because if you had an example growing up who was just always, it was their way or the highway, and they could just always raise up really quick, and they were quick to destroy things, throw things, stuff like that. That's the example you've seen. That's the example that you thought was right. Maybe there's a conflict in what's happening right now between what this Piscean grew up with versus maybe the way that this Piscean really daydreams about going. That maybe, and I'm hearing to say that Notebook movie type of thing. All right. Let's go ahead. Anything else want to come out for the block for this Piscean? They want something fair. These come upright because it's a block. It's a fairness that this Piscean has never seen. Maybe doesn't even really feel like it's possible. Maybe that's something that's in movies. Something that's in the stories. Maybe Pisces only sees that there's always somebody in whatever kind of partnership, something that's always going to be over there saying how much they give to Pisces. Even though Pisces is always reaching, wishing for more. Not to be greedy, but to be at the level of this other. This other, again, could be person, place, or thing. Let's go clarity card. Clarity card. What do we need a clarity card? 7 of Cups. What is the clarity card for the 7? All right, clarity card for the 7. What I'm hearing is in the emotions, Pisces feels like, is there such things as humble beginnings? Humble stories. Ones where you can fully be yourself. They say that because we have the Leo card, Sun card in reverse. Here comes the Chariot in reverse. We have the 3 of Wands in the upright. There was something that they were wanting to come in either since they were a child, or there's something about a dream with a child that's been put to a stop. For some reason, they're not seeing it. They're not seeing it as a part of what's happening right now, what they truly want. It's very interesting. Let's go clarity cards for the Sun card. I'm very curious. Clarity card for the Sun. Justice. That's Libra energy. Cardinal, bringing in something new. There is something that makes sense now because we had judgment that was face down. It makes sense with the forgiveness. Something happened. Something happened and something was taken. Something was taken, maybe something wasn't recognized, something wasn't acknowledged. And it's definitely, this event is what Pisces started to build their foundations off of. Ooh. Let's take some deep breaths. That's deep right there. That is very, very deep right there. When we hang on to those chains of the past, when we feel like justice was never served, when we were even scared to go for justice, it's like a big gaping wound in the heart that that person doesn't talk about. But it's there. It's there in the back of the mind. It's there in the thoughts when you're awake, when you're asleep. It's there when you're eating. It's there. But the only way that this Piscean can get rid of this, it's almost hauntedness here. It sounds like a cheap answer. It really does. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get mad at me, but it's through forgiveness. It is through forgiveness. Whatever this was, however this went down, try and see it from another view. If you can gain that view and be able to use some discernment and see what it is that you can use to level up from it. With this situation, maybe you're not going to be as quick to get up and respond like somebody else, because if this Pisces is doing the same thing because it was the example set, and then they sit back after all the action, what's said and done, and they're upset, that's reasonable. That's you showing that you care. Don't beat yourself up because you got this facade from some social media platform that life is perfect. Life is not perfect. Our examples were not perfect. But what's beautiful about this, and I don't know if this Piscean sees it or not, is the fact that you're starting to see this a little. It wouldn't be coming out if you weren't feeling it. Now everything's upside down because you could be at a war with yourself. You're at war with yourself because what foundations were built for you is not matching up to the direction you want to go in. Man, I'm telling you, this is almost like the Taurus one. Holy moly. Let's see. So, before we move forward with another deck, guess what? Blam. Queen of the Moon Oracle. Look at that. Brand new one. And you're getting the first use of it, Pisces, in this story because you're that special. I'm not going to lie. You are super D special. You're beautiful. I swear to God, you're wanted. But it all starts with self first. I'll tell you right there. You are never going to feel more wanted than you do with yourself. You're never going to feel more loved than when you love yourself. Because every time you go and try and get it from someone else and they don't give it to you right, your wound gets bigger, gets gushier, gets a little bit more infected. That's because you just handed over your self-value to somebody else. unknowingly. And this is something that could have been taught to you since a very long time ago. So, universal divine energies, ancestors, and guides. What is it that needs to come out? I'm getting a big stop sign. What is this stop sign about? Freedom. Talk about freedom. Okay. So let me see how I can translate this. A lot is coming in right now. You will never really be free in the mind, in the thoughts, in the emotions, or in the spirit when you keep reaching for others to tell you who you are. The person that you are, you have to get up every day feeling it. You have to believe it, even on the days where you slipped, because again, no one's perfect. No one is perfect. But being able to apologize and to move forward from there, that is the idea of this game. That is the idea on how you level up. It's one step at a time. And right now, if you're here watching this and you watch the full thing, you're already up a few steps. Keep going. I would say for the Pisces in this story is definitely working with somebody who can help you unpack that past. Being active and wanting to heal this wound, because let's face it, if you ever had a really big wound, it takes time to heal, and you have to go through and clean it more than once. Depending on how big it is, you may have to clean it more than once a day. You can almost put it in piercing terms. You can almost put it in tattoo terms. With things like that, you have to make sure it's clean. You have to keep up on it. If it needs ointment, you got to put ointment on it and stuff like that. When you're taking charge of your healing, you got to be active. Are you journaling with it? Are you getting into all the programs that is being offered? Are you willing to invest in it? Your time, your money, your heart, your mind, your effort. It's a journey to heal. I was speaking with somebody yesterday. They're dealing with low back and hip pain that's really starting to hinder them. And one thing I tell them, and I tell all my clients this, is that when you go on this journey of wanting to heal pain in this particular area, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a 6 months at least process. Learning how to do it, but also sticking with it. It takes at least a good 6 months, I say, to establish a supreme routine and a new way of leveling yourself up, because it comes down to just more than one thing. A lot of times it's emotionally that you're leveling up. It's also physically, because a lot of people are starting to move around more when they start making these changes. It's intellectually. It is spiritually. It could be even in your gifts that are going to start coming in too at the same time. It's a barrage of things. It's a big journey. But every step you start getting closer and closer to your goals, your true dreams, instead of settling for what you thought was right because you were handed this foundation that had a very narrow way of thinking or a narrow way of seeing things, that seen only one way and not a progressive way. You different from whatever this example is because you are seeing a progressive way. Again, this is why you're having this issue and going back and forth between what you were taught and which way you want to go. All right, so let's get started with this Queen of the Moon Oracle. What will help Pisces for the block that they are facing? Purity. Snow moon. It looks cold. It looks cold where you've been. What is the will that's needed? What is the will that's needed? Needed to get to this purity. Maybe that certain dream of being able to come in a certain way. Seeing yourself a certain way. Instead of seeing yourself from a not so positive view. There's a hunger. There's a hunger for wanting to understand more. And let's see why this lands here. Healthcare change. All right, so remember we talked about stomach and food, hunger, healthcare change. I don't know what this example taught you, Pisces, in this story, but how you take care of yourself is really, really important. Making sure to eat good meals, healthy meals, making sure to drink that water. Why? Because you deserve it. You're special. Let's keep you going. Let's keep you feeling good. When we're malnourished, when we're running deficient, it can affect our mentality. It can affect our physical being. It can affect our emotional being. Take that time to take care of yourself. Slow down. Have faith that you have the will to go in that direction. The direction of your dreams. Anything else? There it is. Ooh. Does it start with gratitude? The world changes for a person when they see the blessings that they have at hand, opposed to seeing everything that they wish they had, everything that they don't have. Abundance. Seeing your abundance. Look at this realm. Not everybody can hold a fox. Not everybody is like you. That's why you're understood, Piscean. You are gifted. You are of out of this world type of energy. I'm telling you, see that in yourself. See how fertile you really are. The hunter moon. How you can attract things to you. All right, I have one more card. Last card. Two cards. Da-na-na. We'll go 3 cards. There it is. There it is. Attraction. Supermoon. You are a dime. And nobody has to sit there and tell you that. Just be it. I love people that come out with that energy. They know it. They be it. They don't care who doesn't see it. All right, and then I have sovereignty. What is it? What is it that this Pisces could learn about themselves? What is it that using this forgiveness is going to open up different doors for this Pisces energy? Universal doors, gifted doors. Last one. Last one. This right here, I'm saying the ancestors. Ancestors want you to know this. Nourishment. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. If, say, you were neglected as a child, it's stepping up now and being that parent you always wanted. Being that caretaker, that provider that you always wanted, because when you can fully take care of yourself, you don't depend on others to take care of you. You don't sit here and have that void because you fulfilled it. And you have the power to fulfill it. Again, it starts one day at a time. Maybe making sure to get ready. Come in looking good, even if it's just for yourself that day. Making sure to eat good, balanced food. Good, balanced food. Maybe finding some music that you really like and dancing to help mellow out that mood for you. If you like cheese, go get you some of those favorite cheeses you like. A lot of times when we start taking care of ourselves, it's really asking ourselves, what do we want? What do we want? So what does this Pisces really like to eat? What is it that could help bring them some nutrition? Some clarity of thought? Could make them feel really, really good. Holy moly. And because there's been so much heaviness around this energy, I had to pull my white light oracle. White light oracle. And this white light oracle is one that gears it back to aligning with the universe and aligning with ourselves. Giving Pisces in this story the confirmation that they are important, that connection that they feel with themselves, even though it makes them feel like they're always in a daydream, makes them feel like it's harder to connect to others sometimes because they feel so much. They see so much. And it's honoring that. It's honoring also your boundaries. How you feel. How you felt when stuff was not at its best. And then how you feel now. Processing. Cleaning those wounds. And then learning. You didn't like a lot of stuff? Well, what was it? What's the lesson there? All right, here we are. I have 23, Beta of Spirit Wolf. $23, and what I'm seeing is to say together that makes 5. If you've been seeing a lot of 5s lately, this could be a sign of transformation. Major life changes are on the way. And what I'm being told right now from my ancestor is, don't be afraid. And if you feel like nobody's going to hear you, you're going to lose your voice in all of this, whatever's going to come out, I feel like is going to reconfirm. How do you keep that light? How do you keep that confidence in what you're feeling? So let's see. Beta of Spirit Wolf. Give yourself enough rest. Only then will you be able to ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. You will find a way through a tricky situation as you tune into your instincts and trust your own timing. For times of change and uncertainty comes confidence, love, and resilience. Embrace transition. Commit to your tasks and stay focused, but be flexible in your approach. You have the skill to intuitively handle anything. So I'm going to read this first sentence here too. Spirit Wolf skillfully guides us through transition and uncertainty. Wow, this right here, this is deep. This is really deep, and I want to thank the Piscean community frequency for sharing this with me. This is really heartfelt. This is somebody who let us see some vulnerability here. But what I would tell you, not a but this is what I'm going to tell you, is when we face anything that comes our way that we feel like we can't control, it's scary. No matter how old you are, life will push you into a place, into a spot between a hard place and a rock to get you tired of something, because there's a lot of energies around, from ancestors, guides, divine angels, who always want to see each person doing their best, getting to their dreams. I can't see how a person be brought in here and would be left to stay on a chain, to be chained down from the things that they really want. There's a lot of different ways you can do things. There's a lot of different ways that our goals come about. And what I'm hearing to speak on is an experience that I got to meet a wonderful person who did massage therapy. And it was in they were like a metaphysical group. And this person who did massage was paralyzed from the waist down. But that didn't stop them. They had a system of their own. They had their own clients. And they held the confidence of any mighty lion on the savannah. I say this because somewhere, somehow, there could be something in the health that this Pisces feels like holds them back. Could leave them hungry. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. You just have to release the attachment to specific outcomes. Whatever this is, you were meant to learn from it to get to that ideal partnership. Whatever this Piscean is in now could be a reflection of what they were in when they were younger. All right. So, this is going to conclude it. Remember, Pisces, you are beautiful. And finding ways to unpack this to help take that stress down can help tremendously with our health care. Stress will do a lot of bad things to us. Me, myself, I suffer from alopecia. I'm gonna level with you. I have a nice bald spot about the size of almost a $50 piece. And that came at the expense of stress over a situation that I couldn't control. So just remember that. Do what you gotta do for you to heal those wounds, to be able to let go of what is not of yours, to let go of the things that are really causing not such great thoughts about yourself or around yourself. All right. I just don't want to leave Pisces like this. I kind of want to take Pisces up and hold them and tell them how beautiful and special that they are. Because it's true. It is true. I will tell you, I did not, do not get along with Pisceans that well. Because I didn't understand them. But going through it and learning more about them has really showed me how tender that Piscean community is. How much that they want to be held. How much that they want to feel the comforts of being able to swim right next to a partner who is just as even as them. And you deserve it. I tell you what, you deserve it. You deserve that ideal relationship, that ideal outcome, that ideal job. You deserve it all. Don't give up on it. People's past mistakes are not yours to wear. All right, for like the third time, thank you so much. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day.